he is taking over as the entry fragger, which is what Body was doing. There's been a big upward tick in the opening jewels Masuta has been taken since he's joined this 3D Max team, which he wasn't doing nearly as much of on that Gen 1 roster with MBK, who's now the assistant coach here as well. More on that later, though, as we're underway on Inferno, and 3D Max are not wasting any time as they charge their way up Banana.
As he's ready, how many can he get? Immediate headshot to kick off his Rio campaign, and he's got help from Kyosuke. B bomb site is closed, and there wasn't even a knock.
They got shut down before they even reached the door, mate. Oh, goodness gracious. What a statement coming through from Kyosuke and Monacy. Talk about running into a brick wall. Kyosuke going to be the one to finish it off.
Or, is that conversation still going to be had about pressure moments getting to them at big events? We'll have to see. It's a great start.
Imagine... Okay, let me hold off my pointer because we've got another big brutal attack up Banana here in towards Kyosuke and Kixan. Seen some big highlights from Kyosuke and towards the top of Banana, and a lot of utility damage has been done as well. Kixan is somewhat trapped at the moment, and it's going to be Niku who rotates across here to try and help him out, and he does a lot of damage with the frag found, but there's a flurry of kills in response. 3 kills in quick succession.
Save.
Should just be round over.
They should save already, yeah. Tesses was going for the rotation, but there was no point. It's Inferno, after all, my friends. They have to keep hold.
I think they know how much damage they've done, bro.
I think they do, but there's no kit. There might be one dropped on site, but Tesses and Monazy might be playing exit kills here. He's looking for a kill on the boost. If they do get it, which they have seen one, it's a good clear on Exercise. So are they going to go further? No, they're happy with the damage. So with the fact that Monazy's low as well, there's no reason to throw it away. And 3D Max will answer back immediately.
Yeah, very well done from them. Just hammering home up Banana, forcing the fights, and with a lot of util damage and getting Kixan trapped, Nico desperately rotates it across to try and help out. He fell foul as well. And just going back to the point you were making about what sort of a state we're going to get Falcons in here. What if they go on, with the amount of space he's been able to take, he's actually going to call for the team to rotate back in this direction.
2 on A, and Tesses will drop down and make some noise. I'm not sure that's going to be heard from that far away from 3D Max though, but of course they're worried about long now, because it's completely open. It's actually a CT smoke on Moto. Very difficult for Nico and Tesses to hold on, but they are going into that bit of a crossfire, but they clear both beautifully. Gravity with a great job, and again, that calls a round off. Even if Kyosuke gets this kill, which he doesn't, even if he had, it was still a round over.
Yeah. They love just grouping up and looking to force their way as a unit into a bomb site, and it's worked the trick here for them to go back to back and get themselves an early lead.
One of the things I think was very evident about 3D Max last year is that they did eventually burn out, right? They were one of the best teams at the tippy top of tier 1.5. They were always causing issues for some of the best teams in the world. But then they fell off a bit, and of course that's what contributed to them making that move to remove Body and add Masuta. And look very fresh, and Falcons could get caught short. We'll see. The savers come through.
Yeah, the thing is, Falcons would be used to coming into these sorts of tournaments with playing against teams that have been far more active than them, right? That's just what you get when you're in like the top 8 in the rankings. You're only playing these S-tier events. So it's completely familiar territory for Falcons in that regard.
Kyosuke, all he has is a flash. He's now smoked off. That flash can maybe support a peek to come through from Tesses. Already in his face, though, and Kixan has no idea that there's one player right next to him, and dualies, not on a pistol round, usually look a bit like that. No damage at all, really, from Tesses. Monazy has the M4 still, and Nico's got this Galil, but he's very, very known about. That quantity is now removed, and Monazy is looking for exit kills.
Yeah, just trying to inflict as much economic damage as possible. Mark is extremely low, so they're going to need to get the kill soon, so there's no threat about the bomb going off, and that's exactly what they'll do. Good force bite to get the ball rolling for 3D Max. They then win against the force and convert against the eco to net themselves a 3-1 lead going into this first gun round.
It's funny from Lucky's POV where Kixan was in that moment. Good hold on.
Gravity is always one of the more entertaining guys when he starts to find his voice. Obviously not as much of a voice in the server with him no longer being the IGL. And there was that statement that came out from him saying he foresees himself being an IGL later on down the line in his career. But for now, it'll be that secondary voice. Lucky the primary man here to get that first kill. Kyosuke will retake the control. And 3D Max just look to backpedal out of there. Further damage inflicted through the smoke wouldn't be confirmed. And again, 3D Max really quick to pull the trigger on these reroutes. But not as aggressive this time, which will actually give Kyosuke some time to rotate back in towards A and pad up the defense.
They have space towards short now. Tessa's under pressure once again. Thankfully, there are 3 players here, but one of them low HP. Gap in the van. Oh, can't complete the kill. That's a bit of a shock. That was a lovely angle to play from, but Gravity still standing somehow on 1 point of health. And now Maka has entry Tessa's. They're not checking for the long wrap. Lucky slipped the gap, and it works perfectly. Kickzone only gets 1. 3D Max right now are totally outgaming Falcons. A med pause for Gravity, clearly bitten by something or some kind of discomfort in his forearm, and we hope he's okay. He's back in the server now, it's no coach stand-in required, and hopefully for 3D Max's sake, it hasn't put a bit of a pin in their brilliant first half so far.
Yeah, well, the good news is we haven't had to amputate his arm. Not just yet. So, he can continue to play the series. Hopefully the struggles behind him, like you say. Momentum probably dissipated to a degree for 3D Max. Masuta will still draw first blood. Kyosuke feeling so much pressure. Masuta's doubled down on entry duty. It's now all on Nico as this last line of defense. He wants to step out to take the initiative, but that just costs him his life. Tess is pipped by Exorcies. And it doesn't look like 3D Max have been thrown off course whatsoever with that elongated
Not phased in any way, shape or form. Goodness gracious. Honestly, having to go for it. Ideally, you'd want to save here, but look, there's no way you can do it if he's pushed that far deep. And Falcons are getting run over as it stands.
At this point, it's just about building up even more of a financial backing for 3D Max.
Run through from Kyosuke, he's so blind. Goodness gracious. Kind of a handshake in the end from Lucky to say, okay, well, you know you're there, we'll leave you there. He's managed to volley him out and force him up toward the top of Banana again. Tessa's great headshot. They need to win a round like this, Falcons, to try and get themselves going. Gravity's managed to find Monazi, though. Great kill. Tessa's still standing. They know he's there, though. There are many more players where that came from. How can he keep standing with only a deagle? The answer is he cannot. Gravity and Maka will confirm that. And Kinosuke and Kixan looking for exits only again.
It did look a little bit ropey at one point there after that one deke from Tessus. He rattles off a few more shots, but none of them connect in a meaningful way. 3D Max continues to trudge forward and are able to get the kills to create the space to get full control. And at this point, Kickstand and Kyosuke are just looking for some damage. But it's 3D Max who have been doing all the damage so far here on the server. 7 consecutive rounds, and Trav, none of them have been particularly close. That's the real concern here.
No.
Is that it's not been coming down to like crazy clutches and these wild, chaotic situations that have gotten 3D Max to this point. They've genuinely just been steamrolling Falcons so
Big
far.
triple kill from Gravity.
7-1, fitting in Brazil.
Yes. You've got Kixan with Kyosuke. Surely, if they get anywhere near that, there is no way in. And there is only one Molly. Actually, I tell a lie, there's 2. There's one more on Masuta. Are they going to try and clear them out of these pockets? They absolutely are. But again, they go 2 for 1, and Nico just cannot connect with anything at the moment.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. It's fantastic due diligence coming through there from 3D Max on the execute with some very good utility usage and then cross-covering one another. Nico now has it all to do with the world on his shoulders. Single-handedly needs to lock down this B-bomb site with only 21 health to his name. He's trying to figure out the best way to try and take the initial duel. And while he maybe catches Masuta slightly off guard, Masuta's able to adjust and find the frag. And with that, the round. 3D Max continue their domination of Falcons as they're now up 9-1.
It's just deja vu. It's another one of these rounds where there's no saying it. No chance at a retake in a 2v2 or anything like that. It's always a double man advantage, if not more. And they're really playing well as a squad. We know that's what 3D Max is all about. And I mentioned about maybe how I would feel about them coming hot off of Bucharest, having played pretty well at that event. Probably their best event with Masuta. Well, it's looking fantastic to start here. Honestly, he's doing a great job at trying to stay alive with his AWP, but he's getting pincered There's a flank from Arch coming through in a matter of moments, and there it is. Easy kill. And free AWP to grab for Maka. He's already got his, to be fair, don't even need it.
Sure, it's 3D Max's map pick, but that shouldn't ever have come into the equation in a game against Falcons. And they're going to persist with the investments here, which means no AWP for Monacy, couple for Masters in play, light on Util, and no kit either.
Oh, and Gravity's even able to find one on Monacy just flying through short like that, and that's going to activate the apartments pop immediately. They need to hold on to this somehow, and Kyosuke and Tessus will do so. Finally, the trade kills come through. The Falcons are about to double their score, unless Lucky can do something crazy. All three CTs are here, though, and they do go for the double swing. Nico can confirm it, and it's a little bit of something to work with. Already got one player pushed up as well. In that cubby, that is Gravity waiting to activate. Maka almost hits his shot. Now they know about the setup. That cubby player will swing into the open. Maka really convinced that he has crossed and is staying there. They're going to choose to take long now. Kyosuke playing a bit more defensively in toward Arch, and that'll be the bait and switch with Kyosuke to make it work out. So 5v4 and low HP on two players is surely will be a Falcons hold.
Oh, Nico just out in the open, not going to be able to get out of dodge after the initial kill, but it's fine because he's got teammates in position to pick up the pieces after he does lose his life. Maka and Exorcies with 25 seconds on the clock here to try and recover the situation. And Exorcies has been able to creep up undetected, but then Tessus will find a favorable angle. Oh, Falcons, is it too little too late? It's going to be 3 rounds is what they have to work with going into the T side of Inferno. Maybe a little bit of an upward tick here for them, a little bit of momentum being carried across, but genuinely never expected to say that they'd only have 3 rounds to their name. Yeah, they've taken a chunk out of Falcons, that's for sure. The wings have been clipped and they no longer saw on the server as they feel the pain. 3D Max just need 4 rounds from this second half here to go 1-0 up in their opening venture against Falcons here at IEM Rio 2026.
And funnily enough, right, this is a beautiful tap from Exercise on Nico. Falcons' main issue for a long time was winning pistol rounds. They won the pistol round. That was pretty much the only thing that went for them in that half. Oh dear. Can Exercise continue to tap down more? Kyosuke will find the trade on this occasion. They managed to force their way up on short and take it. Gravity now from the apartments. Hard cleared by Monacy. That's more like it. A chance to take the bomb site now. Lucky looking for these long-range taps, looking to find something before these players really get set up in the afterplant, and I'm afraid he's not been able to grab it. So they'll obviously give this retake a go. Lucky up to 17-6 now, by the way. A brilliant first half from him. But I think even his expertise is going to be too little in this retake. Honestly, finds Maka. And I know where these final 2 players are rotating in from, and Kyosuke clicks both of them sharply.
They will be feeling a whole lot better than they were 4 rounds ago, down 9-1. Now a 4-round gap, and if they win this gun round, all of a sudden it feels like they're back in the contest, and they maybe start to put some pressure on some 3D Max once again.
I mean, you talking about utility that they needed to prioritize, by the way, it's, you know, broken record on Inferno, but they had to go for double FAMAS to prioritize it, and the counter flashes, top banana, are excellent. In comes a nade from Masuta, though. He's still standing. Or getting spammed through there, now down to 12 HP. He's got support. Thankfully, he's still standing. But not by much. Dragging his feet across the floor in this round. And it's a 4v4, but one that is very much in Falcons' favour.
And they wouldn't know how much damage they've done to Masuta, though. So at least they've kind of been able to conceal the fact that he has backpedaled into the B-bomb site on extremely low health. And looks like 3D Max are going to receive Falcons over on this B-bomb site, which is exactly what they want with the setup they've employed. They've gambled that extra rotation across. 3 players ready and raring here. Not much ammo left for Kyosuke, so he's going to have to get that reload off. He can't continue to commit to the fight. It's a really good flash for the swing that comes through afterwards. Kills go back and forth. Super low health on 2 of the 3, but Falcons will pull the plug on the B play to shift over towards A.
Exorcist could be about to get peeked from above, though, and it's a brilliant pre-fire from Tessus. I mean, what a clear that is. He knows the most common angle in that situation, and that's the kill that wins them the round. Simple as that. Masuta and Gravity, 20 HP between the 2 of them, will not be going anywhere near the A side of the map. Very well figured out from Tessus. Massive mid-round frag for him. And if you give them that, as we kind of saw, to be fair, in the first half, just the opposite way around, it's very easy for the bomb sites to be overrun. Double set it toward long. Flashing toward mid to be taken now. That smoke does block off both Maka and Gravity. Good break,
Control
though.
gained in towards the top of mid. Really nice time on the break of the smoke. Gravity will take full advantage and then get himself out of dodge just as that smoke starts to fade. Good opening kill here for 3D Max to try and open up their encounter in the second half and get themselves up to double digits.
Ooh.
And they've read into the situation brilliantly here, shifting Maka across to pad up the defense over at B.
Again, they choose a 3-man B setup. It's so often the play for a T side. When you're a man down, you go for a B push. It's easy to run over the site. Will they expect a third, though? Maka, he doesn't want to peek. He doesn't want to peek when that CT smoke gets thrown through until now, and he's got both. That's huge. Monazi doesn't trade in time, but he still has got an opportunity. Could this be a Monazi moment? The first in Rio. Immediate fake plant, waiting for Gravity to work his way through, and that's a freebie. 6 seconds on the clock, going for another fake, but he needs to get it down right now, and he's played himself. He has overcooked it and burnt his meal.
Oh man, Monacy had done all the hard work, but he overthinks it to a slight degree. You can't really blame him in that situation. Gravity had a rush of blood to the head.
And 3D Max get a critical CT gun ram, but you already mentioned it. One player alive only. The buy is awful.
Exactly, so if Falcons can bounce back immediately afterwards to win this round here, then they can keep that pressure up on 3D Max and continue to close the gap. Nico, top banana, pressuring into this B bomb site, trying to draw the attention across that side of the map. Not a whole lot of utility left remaining. No flashes left here for Falcons to aid their cause in executing on A either. Nico's abandoned banana. They're going to have to go all in. Gravity makes a timing here in the middle of the round to catch them off guard, and then Maka will make a play as well to drop a couple of Falcons players.
And they had to do it when they have this sort of a purchase with this sort of weaponry. Really good work from 3D Max, but hang on. Kyosuke and Monazi are making it happen again. Nico needs to keep himself alive, but Maka's going to try and run him down. Nico just gets away into middle. Does he have help from short? He does. Monazi is being looked for by Maka. He knows there's a possibility and he sees the shadow, but that's a bit of a recovery for Monazi. He's angry. Triple kill, making up for the previous round. Falcons back within 3. He'll put in some of his utility around that A long position. HE as well to show more presence, but it's B again. The Falcons are looking to entry in. Lucky very blind. And actually does big damage to Nico with his final few bullets. That's pretty handy. Masuta trying to deliver from the back of the site. Does get both. And with low HP on Kickstand, can they really break through? The answer is yes, you know. Monazi is set up, gets an important kill on Gravity, and now he has full control.
What the hell? He just goes straight through the smoke into the back of coffins. He is not, he's not shying away from these opportunities, not fearing anything or anybody right now. And because of the util that was thrown by Tessis, Maka is still sweeping the backlines for him. He's even tried to sell the audio cues by running away from mid to try and draw Tessis out, but Tessis ain't there. And a big comeback on this T side as well. You got to always attribute a big portion of that success to the IGL.
Yep.
Down 9-3 coming into the half, and they haven't looked back since then as they've tied up that scoreline. Looks like Maka wants to try and take a bit more initiative here and be a bit more proactive to insert himself at the start of the round, but as Kyosuke is just charged straight up middle. He fells Gravity, denies him, and they're going to continue to just try and ride this wave of momentum.
That's some of the Spirit Academy Kyosuke coming out there. Pure W key, given the reins to do that, and he's playing around the smoke as well. Surely he doesn't find another one. Exercise playing inside of it himself. He's gone all the way through. He's going to take the duel on Lucky there. No idea he was here, and now he dives into the smoke himself. Finally, he goes down. Masuda's not being cleared, though. He gets both. All of a sudden, it's falling apart for Falcons. Out of bullets, though. Exercise is here. Monazi gets both. Incredible Glock headshot on the quick trade. Monazi gets another chance at a 1v1. It's Maka on the other side. I was going to say AWP versus AWP, but Monazi goes for the maneuverability of the AK. He's already making a move all the way around long, and he's going round to library because of the bomb plant position, thinking that Maka, being the AWPer, is going to take longer to get into position. And Maka, without a kit, maybe that's the masterstroke from Monazi that gets Falcons back into the lead of this one. Maka has not found a kit on site. He's still looking around for Monazi, but he has disappeared, and now Monazi's seen him. The jiggle bait, shot hit, but Monazi's played him like a fiddle, and he may whiff, but who bloody cares? Falcons are up 11-10.
And there's that golden smile once again. What a brilliant clutch coming through from him. 3 kills with 3 different weapons coming through from Monacy in extremely quick succession. And that is now the lead for Falcons as they supersede 3D Maxion Inferno, going up 11-10.
Oh, how has Masuta done that then? Fighting in the fire, is able to find Nico. That's an annoying death for Nico when a player is standing, consigned himself to death, but still takes you down. 4v4 very quickly. Gravity sees what's going on. A very quick maneuver for Falcons top middle. Decisive in pit. Kiyosake looking to entry. In fact, all 4 players going through short here with no hesitation. Good counter flashes, and Exercise gets 1, but only 1. It's going to have to be Gravity on site. Going to be powered up by that Mosquito. Maybe not on this occasion. It's only a 1-for-1. And Tesses and Kixan are going to be holding on. Lucky gets caught. Once again, Macca's in a clutch. And I think he's trying to line up Util before he picks up the rifle. Yes, he is, but that Molotov has already missed, I'm afraid. This is pretty much impossible. And I think for Macca, unfortunately, he knows it. Tesses and Kixan, 2 kills apiece in this round to drag Falcons from the brink, from 9-3 behind to a 12-10 lead. Incredible.
And despite his struggles, Falcons have still been brilliant on this T side. It's going to be Masuta who swings off the back of a flash. 3 players blind. Unfortunately, he doesn't get that first kill cleanly enough, so Masuta will go down to Monacy, who had just regained his vision. And that will at least trade things out. It's going to be Kiyosake who swings middle. Ecstasy's caught in transition. It's all on Gravity's shoulders. Pressure coming through from both sides of apartments, but he's not going to get checked by Tessis. Remains in Boiler Room, and Falcons actually want to shift their focus away from A and instead commit to the original plan. Gravity finds that kill, but he's never going to expect Tessis to be in pit or at least on the balcony already, and that carves a path into the say bomb site.
And that could be it. Nico's waiting for Lucky to peek forward as well. There's a rotation caught. Oh boy, 3D Max will be hurting. And it's not just Gravity's forearm, I'm afraid. They had full control of Inferno. And Macca knows it's over. Falcons, an incredibly impressive recovery with some big moments from both Monazy and Kiyosake. Nico's got this one dead to rights, you would think, and there's the instant headshot. Falcons find a way. It was not easy by any stretch of the imagination, but that was incredibly impressive.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and it was a very impressive display from him and the team. Monacy and Kiyosake were in brilliant form once the team got going on Inferno. They were unplayable, and they're going to try and continue that form here into Ancient. Kiyosake has been blinded up. This is all a ruse. This is all to try and draw the attention away from the B-bomb site. It's worked the trick. 3D Max have bitten down on the fake, and that means Falcons get a completely vacant B-bomb site.
This is such a tough retake now. Made really a lot worse by the fact that Lucky is 17 HP with no armor, and he's the kit carrier. Look at Exercise jumping around, trying to activate, but it's Nico and Monazy that will do it. Big triple kill from Nico, who's very quiet on Inferno. It's a great way to start on Ancient.
And keep Falcons within arm's reach.
Yeah, and they need something from their new man Masuta as well. I mean, people might forget he is a IEM winner back at IEM Winter in 2021 with Vitality at the time. They're going to try and charge their way into the A bomb site here. Falcons not holding anything back on what is the proper opening gun round. Nico will get that molly into the back of Donut eventually, trying to get damage on that right corner where Exercise is playing from. They have got the bomb down. It's a 4v4 on the retake. Exercise does have that one kit. He's going to wait in Donut while his 3 teammates work through CT. And he needs to make sure he stays alive, because that one kit, if it's dropped, completely changes the complexion of this round. But maybe there'll be no complexion at all. Maybe Tesses kills everyone. That's exactly what he's going to do.
Not even setting foot in the bomb site there for 3D Max as they attempt the retake. They end up in Temple and they meet God, courtesy of Tessis. He gives them a one-way ticket as they say their prayers unanswered. But obviously with the max round loss bonus behind them, they've been able to tie up a little bit more here. Still an eco, but there's MP9s and 5.7s combined with that one saved rifle. But still the opening kills going Falcons' way.
Decapitated by Monazy is Masuta. Oh, what a clear from Tesses. I mentioned about pre-aiming earlier. His pre-aims have been on point today. He went around off of one alone on Inferno earlier to instigate a lot of that Falcons comeback. Lucky's found one, but Monazi will continue to deliver, not miss when put under pressure. Exercise will finally put him down, though, and hang on. This is a bit disconnected from Falcons here. It's back down to a 2v2. They're allowed a bomb plant. Kicksan, you can't plant there, mate. Have to rotate around and play it behind the box. Nico is watching for the exercise rotation, though, and now Nico's turning up. Wow, what a clean start for him. He's bursting heads away as if it's 2016. Okay, come on 3D Max. I want to see something from you here. I want to have a good game. I don't want to walk over. Lucky is burning a lot. Oh my word, only just gets the smoke down in time. That forces Exercise's hand to go for the peak on Tesses, and Masuta will find Nico trying to just creep through that Jaguar smoke. So that will be something to work with, finally. 5v2, Kicksan and Monazi. And Monazi gets something done here. He cannot. It's a great flash to give him no chance whatsoever. Now, Kicksan is wondering where all my friends have gone, and unfortunately, in a few months, he might be thinking the same thing. Kicksan would like to save. It's not the end of the world. If he dies after time in some way, shape or form, he's still got 8 grand in the bank, so it's fine. He will keep his AK and a molly and a smoke.
Do we see Falcons just going back to that brute force approach into an extremity of the map? Or do they look to try and run it back and find some success in middle, which obviously wasn't the case in the previous? It does look like they're going to try and run it back turbo 2.0 here in round 7, and this time it will be Monacy to draw first blood. Kyosuke continues where Monacy left off, and he doubles down on entry duty. Round over.
Oh, well, there we go. Naka, what have you got? Something crazy? Oh, imagine that could have been a triple collateral, but in the end it's absolutely nothing. And Monacy desperate to try and take him out of the round. Look at that little cheeky grin.
Yeah.
The team kill means nothing. It's round over.
What a duo they were on Inferno. They were just outstanding. Pick up whatever superlative you want. Brilliant, fabulous. They were unplayable on that previous map once Falcons got going. And they manhandle 3D Max here in towards middle. Yeah, but more of a measured approach coming through here from Falcons this time. Oh, Monacy gets some info that one player's departed, but oh, Maka has missed a sitter. Monacy's been offered a new lease on life. He should be a dead man. He's going to pack his bags and get the hell out of there. They have got Tesses posted in on Red Room, so maybe that's the linchpin that they're looking to take advantage of. Or just double pump here in towards the speed bombs like big Jewel going Exorcies his way. That's going to make life a lot more difficult here for Falcons on this B exec.
Naka naded, smoked, flashed, and now Tesses is in a great position. That nade actually does find Exorcies, and that's clean on Masuta. Now full control already. It's all on Lucky. He's in a power position. This is the last place to usually be cleared in a site take like this, but he needs multiple or one and stay alive. That's pretty good. Able to do some damage. In fact, big damage on Nico, but he does peak a bit more. But the Lucky Incendiary has burnt out Nico. That bomb plant is not coming through. 6 seconds. Now it will finally be activated behind the boxes, but Gravity's not there to deny it, and now Monazy has a chance with the AWP drawn. Gravity needs this kill, and he will find it. Now a 1v1. Gravity versus Tesses. Nade lineup is in play, but Gravity will peek ahead of it. Doesn't matter. Tesses, ever reliable. Triple kill, 7-1. Showing what he's made of.
Loved how they've shifted through the gears on this T side so far. We've seen a vast variety so far in terms of how they've gone about their business, and this time it's going to be back to the good old faithful Nico go kill. Straight up ramp. And then he pauses, looking to try and make 3D Max uncomfortable and then try and punish the response. And it's going to be Masuta who goes searching. Lucky to still have his head on his shoulders. But Nico's now going to call for the team, the troops, to follow suit and flood on in.
Bit rough from Gravity. Maybe he felt like he had to force the issue there. But now that means bomb site lost. Nico, and Kicksan are both going to push into cave to make sure Lucky just doesn't spam that wood any further. No hesitation. Exercise, see you later. Kicksan having a bit of fun himself. If you remember, back in the old days of... they're already way on the hunt, by the way. Look how quickly they're looking to try and chase down Masuta and Maka. Let's just see this before I make my point, because Masuta's in trouble. They get a dink on Nico, but not the kill. Now Maka is stuck. He's got many players around him, and Kicksan will get it comfortably. Do you remember on, when on Apex in particular, when Kicksan was coming through, what really put him on the map?
There's no need for us to forcefully try and take any control. We can just try and play back, try and get an idea of what the CTs are trying to do in the round, and then we can start to take some shape.
Already on the edge of Donut. It's going to be an A split, surely. There are 2 players on the other side of this, but they just don't have much on this half investment from 3D Max. It's not a bad position to play from, but they're going to need more than the one, and it's only the one. Nico still lurking around. Very nice spray. Looking to find one more. Doesn't get it this time. But who cares? The round's over again.
He was shooketh that he didn't actually get that kill there. The Nico player cam will always be a form of entertainment in itself. Masuta just hoping to hold on to this AK. 9-1, the imminent scoreline. This was the half by. I mean, 3D Max is going to be hoping and praying they can replicate what Falcons did, and that's 9-3 on the half, because that's the best they could do from here.
Yeah, it was such a good look early on in the series, but now we're looking a bit more at the 3D Max that fell to some really surprising teams in that rush to try and qualify for Cologne. This is a good job for Masuta, but it's only consolation kills. Falcons are swimming in money, and they all go down in the end. And yeah, I mean, some of the losses they took, it was Focus, a new Focus team, definitely an exciting one to keep an eye on. Phantom.
Now, there was a tack timeout called before we come into round 11. Is that going to make any sort of difference here for 3D Max? Is the game already too far gone? You would imagine that it is, with Falcons getting 9 on this T side, regardless of what happens in these last few. Oh, Exorcist tries to venture back into middle through the smoke, but Kyosuke was already in such an advanced position, it results in a free frag.
Some people might look at the scoreboard on HLTV end of this game and think to themselves, okay, Kyosuke had a 5 and 8 T-side or whatever, but obviously could improve with it final few rounds of the half. But he's had many impactful kills on his push-outs of mid, and everyone's chipped in for Falcons. That's the main thing that's really promising for them. It's not been a one-man show in any way. Good flank from Gravity. Looking to try and put the pressure on ever further. Monazi just gets behind the line, though. Back to the CT AWP angle. Does miss the flick. There's a 3v2 for 3D Max, but not any longer. And that kill is the key one. Oh, it's so painful for 3D Max. That frag allows Tesses to take the bomb over to A, then Monazi holds to the rotation. And Masuta is like, how did that go wrong at that pace?
And Monacy will even hammer it home with that last shot. Now, he missed a couple of shots, but the key detail there for Falcons, everybody chipping in and contributing in big ways. 3 rounds away from opening up their IEM Rio 2026 campaign with the win. It's down to Exorcist to try and hold it over at A, and he will at least find the kill, but Nico's dominating them on the opposite side of the map. Lurking and living rent-free in their heads. Nico with a hell of a half. It's Falcons who have bounced back since they've gotten the ball rolling here in Rio. They have been unstoppable. Rolling 3D Max out of the server and bossing the series. They've won 23 of the past 25 rounds of Counter-Strike played in the series against 3D Max. They have just completely manhandled their opponents. They're just 2 rounds away from getting the job done and progressing in the upper bracket, and it's going to be Maka to set this pistol round in motion.
Yosuke will go down, even though he's only going 5 and 10. All his 5 kills were pretty nice in that first half. But hang on a second. The opening pick for Maka could still be an issue because Monazy's playing close range with those dualies. That's very hard to trade. Masuda's done a good job, at least gives him a chance. But look how low he is. Tessa's Kicksan and Nico are trying to run them down. Good flank from Maka. That P250 does activate, but now they're trying to pressure him. And Kicksan will get that kill. And all of a sudden, it's Kicksan versus Masuta. 7 HP to win the clutch. This is so hard. 1 bullet anywhere. It could be in the arm and a jump. That's not going to be working. And he's like, wait, thanks for the freebie, my friend. And everything is going Falcon's way. And 3D Max have this disconnected buy that comes with that bomb plant in the pistol. Good opening from Kicksan, already flashed in by Monazy in toward lane. And they don't want to let up. They want this one done ASAP. There's Kyosuke tapping away, bursting away with ease. Now knows where 2 or 3 more players are coming from and does overstay his welcome, but This will have a 4v3. Working their way in for a B play. Bomb is in cave. Monazi with the A4 holding the angle. Now has Kixan in support. Here the players crossing. Our lineup should be coming through, and there it is. Absolutely nothing for 3D Max. Ever since they were 9-3 up, they disappeared. And I'm sure it wasn't the Mosquito. It was Falcons playing damn good Counter-Strike. All of them are stepping up. All of them are playing well.